Okay, trying to get everything up and running. Let's see here. Good morning, everybody. Natalie coming to you live. Spirit and coffee. Got my coffee here. Salud. So lovely. Yum, yum, yum. So life is just interesting. I think that's the word I want to use. Interesting. It's interesting. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of the dynamics, everything's changing, shifting, people trying to understand who they are and get clear about how and who they are and how to engage the world. There's something that I would say is happening right now with all individuals, which is something called like reprogramming, right? The system is reprogramming all individuals into a new world, a new way of seeing the world. The paradigm is shifting. So if we saw how the paradigm was before and we start looking at what the paradigm is shifting into now, there's a complete transformation happening at this point. And in that transformation, you can jump on if you ever want to. In the transformation of what we see happening, it's reprogramming the individuals who, good morning, Destiny.
Good morning.
Reprogramming individuals in ways that are so hard for people to even conceive or understand, or the clarity. And so sometimes when things surface from the subconscious mind into the conscious mind, we don't even know what we're seeing. The distortion is so fuzzy for us because we didn't even recognize that those things were actually inside us still. And because of that, good morning. I don't know who that is who just got on. It becomes really, oh, good morning, Jennifer. It becomes very, very, very challenging, right? To actually, it becomes a challenge to rechange yourself or change the person that you are, or even look at the things that you didn't know that weren't there anymore. It becomes difficult and hard and not easy. And we want to place blame on other people. That's the natural thing. Let's move this camera back so we get Destiny in there. Destiny decides to come on with Spirit and Coffee every morning. I like that. Okay. Oh. Maybe this other camera's a little, can you scooch in a little bit more maybe? Or maybe it's the angle. There you are. You might just have to put your head in. I'll just go like this and you go like that and we'll go like this. In the reprogramming, what we start to see as people reprogram their mind, their mindset is, again, the subconscious mind is a surfacing of old traumas, old ways of being, old habits that have held us back from actually creating the very thing that we want to create in our life. We don't realize we're our own worst enemy. We're the reason that we're holding ourselves back from actually creating our divine birthright, from actually putting into the world the thing that we want to create. Now, part of creation, and this is a topic that I've been talking about, is, do you give up? It's a conversation that came up, and like, I have to talk about it. There's no way I can't talk about it because I have insights as to what does it mean to give up. Now, here's the deal. Yes, giving up things that don't serve you makes sense. Understanding that. But if you're constantly giving up and never getting results, then you have to ask, is it becoming a hindrance in your life? Is the giving up serving you or not serving you? If that's not serving you, if you're a quitter, if you give up on everything and you're not getting the results you want, then you've got to stick to something. I don't care what the thing is, stick to something, to one thing. You know, if it's your commitment to God, cool, that's your commitment. But stick to one thing and just get good at that one thing. It doesn't have to be a billion things. Just get good at one and don't quit. So we were talking this morning, and I've created my life the way that I want it to be. I've put in place things to make things fit the way that I want to see them. And I've created this life for myself to do the work, to do God's work, to put myself in a situation where I can do spirit and coffee and I can do all these things. Now, I can teach people to do that, but in the teachings, some people just don't like it. They don't like that there's work involved. You've got to work for it. You can't just expect it to just show up. Yeah, there is flow. And people will say, just drop into the flow, let it go. Yeah, you do. But there's still work that's involved. You have to do the work. You can't just expect it to just give me some insight about this one. Let me have Destiny talk about the work and how it has to get done. It's not easy.
So how I like to describe it is
Good morning, Doreen.
Hi. How I like to describe it is relearning. I like to use the word learning because that's what we were taught, right? We were taught these certain things. We were taught anger. We were taught, if that's what kind of environment you were in your household, certain things. We were taught to be happy. We were taught to read. We were taught to deal with emotions. We were taught to, with men to man up. And, so it's relearning all of those things and relearning what serves you and what you think should serve you in your life. So yeah, I think it's relearning. It's unlearning everything to relearn what serves you in your life. And it's not easy. I've had to unlearn a lot of things. As far as me trying to grow as a person and what serves me and what doesn't serve me. And I've thrown fits. I've walked out on her and I didn't want to talk to her and I didn't want to hear what she had to say because I thought I was right. But it's unlearning all of that and no, I'm not right. It's surrendering in a way and setting in that neutral, and you know what, I am going to absorb what you are going to tell me. I'm going to sit here and listen to what you have to say because maybe you do have something to say and maybe I am wrong. But also going back to the whole accountability thing, you have to take accountability. It's literally, it intertwines together as far as
personal responsibility.
As far as personal responsibility and relearning and unlearning things, it's not easy. I'm still unlearning and relearning every single day of my life. So, I'm in the practice every single day. I'm human. I make mistakes, but setting, just unlearning and relearning it all in some kind of way. And then even when I think I learned it, I have to go back and unlearn everything else and relearn it all. But it's
like the never-ending story.
It really is.
That's why the name of the story is called The Never-Ending Story, because our story just never ends.
It's an ongoing story
until we leave this planet. I like the fact that you said learning and unlearning like that. So that's why I like having other perspectives, because people can articulate what I'm saying from a different vantage point or saying it in a language that maybe other people understand. Yes.
Because I don't understand half the things that she says. I have to go and look it up myself because I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh. It makes no sense sometimes. She has to break it down to me a lot of times because she knows that she has to break things down for me. But for the most part, I'm like, wait, what? And I have to kind of because English to me is like, I don't know it. So
nobody knows it.
I guess not.
Yeah, no, nobody knows English. English is a bastard language. It's a goulash. It's the hardest language to learn, apparently. We're backwards with our language or with English. So I like the idea of learning, unlearning. And then you said something about right or wrong. The reality is nobody's right and nobody's wrong. That's the point. But it feels like people are saying you're wrong for being a certain way. It's just merely, does it serve you? Is it serving you in your higher purpose? Is it getting you the result that you want? And sometimes those hard questions trigger the shit out of us. They trigger us. Why? Because we know in our own heart of hearts that we're not doing what we want to do. We know it. We're like, no, I'm missing the mark. I even get that way. I've had coaching and I've had people trigger me in ways where I'm like, ugh. And I know it's true. I know it's true for me. I know that what I'm feeling or experiencing myself is it's me keeping myself from experiencing my best life. You are getting in the way of you, believe it or not. And when you take personal responsibility for your life and you recognize that you are the reason that you are not moving forward, it has nothing to do with anybody else. And so here's the deal. This is a hard thing, right? Because we'll look and people will point the finger. Well, you did this, you did that, you did this. Okay, maybe I did. Now, what does it mean to you? Because there's a personal choice that you can make too. I've had so many people, and I've talked about this over and over again, walk out of my life and say, I choose out of this. I've told people, I might not be your cup of tea, and that is okay. There is nothing wrong with that. I don't have to be your cup of tea or cup of coffee. I'm not here to be liked. I'm not here to be put on a pedestal. That's not what my function is, and that's not why I'm here. I'm here to love unconditionally no matter what. That means if people leave, I love them regardless. It's not easy, and it's kind of confusing, especially in the human world. The human world. They're like, what is this? I have so many people like, what is this? Who are you? They try to understand who I am. You don't have to understand me. Understand yourself. Understand who you are. Really understand who you are to the core. Get to know you. Fall in love with yourself so much that you can spread that love to everybody and anybody in any circumstance and condition, even when it's uncomfortable, even when people are throwing stones at you, even when you're being crucified over and over and over. I've been crucified over. When we talk about crucifixion is, it can be symbolic too in terms of how we live our life. We carry our cross. Everybody has a cross to carry. Okay, we all have that cross. That cross that we carry, sometimes we post it up and sometimes people nail us to it. And that's okay. Jesus Christ was okay with it. Buddha would have been okay with it. The thing is that when we tap into our God self, we're okay with it because we know that it's not real. All there is love. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. That's it. We know not what we do. I know not what I do sometimes, unless I'm being told, like, this is my experience of you. And then I'm going, oh, okay, that's not exactly how I was wanting to get the result. It's just called feedback. And when we get feedback, we either assess it, look at it, and then do something with it and choose differently, or we don't listen to the feedback and then we get forced into surrender to look at it eventually. But it's the very thing that keeps us from actually becoming great. And by great, I mean manifesting our divine birthright out into the universe. So it's not a matter of right or wrong. No. I'm not right either. I just got a lot of questions that piss people off.
That's a fact. They've pissed me off so much. And we talked about this. We talked about this last night. Like, I nearly had a mental breakdown before even going into leadership one year. And I was just like, I don't want to talk to you. Like, I just don't. And then when it's funny because, like, we talk about things happen for a reason and, the events that happen throughout the day. And I go into leadership where I'm over it at this point. I don't want to talk to anyone. She just nearly ruined my day. In my head, she ruined my day, right? And I'm sitting there playing the victim, plain and simple, and which is fine. I could go ahead and do that. I'm validated to my feelings. But in that moment when I was in leadership, we were talking about the story. We make up so many stories in our head that we think it's true when it's not. We just think the craziest things sometimes. And at the end of leadership, finally, I get out. It's late as hell, and this one I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I cried, and I was just like, I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. But it's because I didn't want to answer the question. Does it serve you?
That question
Drives people insane, and it still drives me insane, especially if I'm in a like over dramatic situation. Like, of course I don't want to answer that. Like, I don't know if it's serving me or not. I'm acting like a crazy person, but it's okay.
And that's the beauty of this work, is that you get to own your own experience. And the fact of the matter is, so like my chooky, my little Deja, hates that question. She hates that question.
Like, she completely, like, she could ask me it and I like might throw a little bit of a fit, but she'll get the answer out of me. Deja will throw a fit for all day long.
And then the reason why, and then she's finally understood. So the question of, when you get to a point where you're reprogramming yourself, you see something in your subconscious mind, you blurt it out and you look at it and you say, I said that, it came from me. And then you're like, and then the next question is that behavior serving your life? And then it's like, wait, what? Yeah, you're the one who created that behavior. Is it working for you? And the question irritates people. Why? Because they don't know if they can choose differently. They have the opportunity to choose differently, number one. Okay. That's where the power comes in, because you're able to know that you can choose differently. You don't have to choose that anymore. Okay. You might have subconsciously continued to choose that, but when you allow it to rise from the subconscious and you look at it and now it becomes a thing, you can choose it differently. And you can choose to create a whole different world for yourself. You're getting in the way of yourself. But here is the deal, and this is what I like. You said it, and this is what I love about this work, is that sometimes it is serving you to be a jerk.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But how long do you need? That's the next question. I had one to coach, and it was Patricia. She was coaching, and I love that. She's like, ask somebody, okay, so you're in your pity party. Is it serving you? And they were like, yes, it's serving me. Okay, cool. And is it going to continue to serve you? Well, no. Okay, so how long do you need to be in your pity party? How long do you need? Do you need a day? Do you need a week? Do you need a month? Okay, then it becomes real and you say, oh, well, maybe I just need a few hours. All right, well, go take your few hours of pity party. Okay.
Come back and talk to me.
And when you're ready and you're out of your pity party, come back with a fresh new lens. And let's see if we can get past this and support you past it. But the question itself makes people feel like they're wrong for their behavior. It's not that people are wrong for experiencing these things. It's just that they know that it's the thing that's standing in the way from them truly creating the life that they want. It just is. It's standing in the way.
And that goes back to going back to unlearning that it's not a choice and I have to do this, and thinking, oh, I have to do this. Or no, learning that it is a choice, and you could step into that. I could choose and write whatever whatever it is. But yeah,
it is, and it is a choice.
Yeah.
So we get to rewrite our story if we choose to. Trust me, I had stories about my sister. I had stories about my dad. I had stories about everybody. And then I said, Natalie, it's a story, and I could rewrite that. I don't have to think of it this way anymore. I could think of it this way and create a story that serves me. Now, serves me for what purpose? Serves me so that I could do God's work. That's the intention at the end of the day, to be a light worker, to give back to humanity. But if I can't even understand my own self, and if I can't even get past something so tiny, it's just those pebbles. It's a pebble. Right now, people, but people putting pebbles and allowing the pebble to be what stands between them and their greatness. A pebble, a tiny little thing. It just takes 1% of pivot, just one. That little pebble has become the reason that you're not allowing yourself to create the magnificence that you are. And yeah, people are going to get pissed off at me. I'm not here to be liked. You don't have to like me. No one has to like me. In fact, I have people on here who have gotten totally upset with me, said whatever they say, and that's fine. It's okay. I'm not mad. I'm not salty about it. I still love them. I still love them because unconditional love is unconditional love. They don't have to like me. I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to make sure that you understand that you're magnificent and that you are the one putting those pebbles inside on you're putting them in your path. So when people are like, I think, how can people not love you? I'm like, well, come live with me for about a good 5 days and see if you can handle it. Not that I'm hard. It's not that I'm hard.
No, it has nothing to do with like that she's hard or she's what is it? A drill sergeant.
Okay, down though.
No, she is. But when it comes down to it, she's not gonna sit here and yell at you, but you could feel her yelling at you in your head, if you get what I mean. No, but she's not gonna sit there and yell at you. She has the motivation. She puts that example up for everyone. And so it's like when you see your auntie get up and like do all, of course you're going to be like, oh yeah, like I'll get up with you and do spirit and coffee. Or yeah, I'll do a photo shoot with you. Or I'll do your makeup. Like, of course, like, it becomes fun. But, the beginning of the work, it wasn't always fun. It wasn't. I had mental breakdowns almost every day. But it's because I was unlearning all the trauma that I was taught in my life. And I was learning how to not make up stories in my head anymore. Because I was making every story up possible in my head. My dad hated me. My mom doesn't like me. She's never, like, just things in my head that wasn't true. She doesn't think I'm good enough. Like, all of these crazy stories in my head where none of it was true. I am worthy. My dad does love me. Maybe he wasn't there the whole entire time, but he does love me. My mom could be a little stern and crazy, but she loves me, and she wouldn't have had me if she didn't want me. So, going back to, choosing and unlearning all of this, all of this trauma that was put in our head as children that, I was bullied majority of my life. So of course, I believed all of those stories for so long. It's like, no, I love me. I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and think this is the person I am because that's the perception of me. No, I know who I am as a person. I'm freaking great. And if you don't see it, then that's totally fine.
Ooh, I like that one.
No, yeah.
I'm great. If you don't see it, that's fine.
Yeah. I've been making quotes yep.
She's going to make the quotes for Spirit and Coffee. Boom, boom, boom. She's going to be the philanthropist. Boom, boom, boom. She's our philanthropist, by the way.
Hello.
I say hello to Destiny, the philanthropist.
I'm not going to say the word because I can't talk. So there's that.
So yeah, okay, so being around me is complex and hard only because here's what I want to say about that. And good morning, Suzanne, and I don't know who else got on here. It's not that I expect things. I don't know if that's the right way to say it or approach it. Because I maybe I do have these expectations, but we know how expectations go. It just falls apart. I have this ability, okay? And it's almost scary for individuals. But I have this ability to see the greatness within every person I meet. I don't care who they are. Literally. And when I see their greatness, I start to project the greatness within them. I see that and I call it forth. But here's what happens, and this is what seems to happen with most individuals that spend a lot of time with me. I call them to a higher game. Not because I don't think they're enough, not because I don't think that they're worthy. It's the opposite. It's because I know that they're enough and I know that they're worthy and I see the greatness within them. I can see the blockages that are keeping them from manifesting the very thing that they're saying they want to create. I can see it. And I call them forth to a higher game. But what happens is our programming, our mental programming tells us we're not good enough because we've been told that our whole life. You're not worthy. And then we've played that out in our head. I'll never live up to that standard. You don't have to live up to these standards, but I see the potential and the greatness within every individual. And when I call it forth, whether the person chooses their greatness or not is not I'm going to love them regardless. Like I've told you, I've had friends, one of my best friends, Eric, little Leckies, okay? I just love him. And he did commit suicide. But I knew him since we were kids. Like we were high school besties and we did the whole thing and we were blood brother and sister. And we were like, yeah, we are like the rejects, we called ourselves. We were so happy about being the rejects. And, we were always together and he had this heart of gold. He was so overly sensitive, but in a world that didn't accept a man as a sensitive person. And so he got a lot of pushback from society and stuff. And he was empathic. So he took that on and he felt everything. He couldn't block it off. It just flooded through him. But this guy had so much potential. I mean, he was creative. He was a badass drummer. I was like, dude, I literally bought a whole drum set for the guy so that he could drum. Like I bought a drum set so we can have a band together because I believed in him that much, but he didn't believe in himself. And I couldn't give that to him. I couldn't give it to him. But he knew, because he knew me from when we were kids. He knew that when I was calling him to a higher game, I wasn't going to judge if he didn't live up to that because I loved him regardless. And he knew that. But he knew that I saw the greatness within him. He understood that that's what was happening, that I could see the potential within him. And all I did was support that. I wanted to magnify that. I'm like, wow, you're so amazing. This and this and this. And sometimes my vision of someone's greatness is too much for them. It's too much. It's really quite weird to me. I don't get it sometimes. I'm like, are they not seeing what I see? How could they not understand how cool they are or how awesome they are or what they have to offer this world? And how do they not see that they're the ones who are keeping themselves from it? And then those hard questions come in. All right, let's get in action. Let's do it. You say you want to do this. Let's go. Let's do it. And then it's like, wait. I'm not ready now. Well, when are you going to be ready? 5 years from now? No, the time is now.
That was the conversation we were having going to Santa Fe.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, what was it? Okay, so do you remember what it was? Go ahead.
Yeah, it was.
Here, let's get you.
Sorry.
That's okay.
It was my very first leadership that I went to. I was like 16. I was going through it, obviously, like every 16-year-old. And she's like, you want to, like, are you serious about it? And I'm like, yeah, I want to do it. Like, it's cool. Like, it seemed cool. Oh, yeah, going to Santa Fe and going and do it. Oh, yeah, let's do it. And so, we're it's in Santa Fe. So we're driving up Santa Fe and we're talking. And, it's about an hour drive. Being in a car with my auntie, you start talking. And sometimes, we start talking about, just things that are going on, whatever. At this point, I know nothing about leadership. I have no idea what, at all at this point. We're going, we're talking. She goes, well, we're here. And then she starts asking me questions. And I'm like, I don't want to answer these questions. I'm not ready to answer these questions. Like, I've dug these questions down so deep into me that I just don't even want to I just don't want to talk about it. No. Well, is that serving you? I don't want to talk about it. Well, is that serving you? Auntie, I'm serious. Like, I don't want to talk about it right now. So we're going back and forth. Finally, I'm like, you know what? I'm out. I'm leaving. I start crying. It's like I'm not even in the building yet, and I'm crying. And so,
hi. Well, we were just talking about you. Of course, you would show up. Actually, we're talking about you this morning.
But
good morning, Patricia.
But yeah, I nearly had a mental breakdown. She let me. She was just like, you do you. You have your mental breakdown. We'll talk later. No, just like, whatever. You bug me. I go do leadership and I come back and I'm just like, yeah, I'm an asshole. I'm sorry.
That's what everybody tells me. I tell people I'm an asshole too.
I thought, that's what I told her last night is I thought you were the asshole, but it turned out I was the asshole.
Oh, trust me, I've been an asshole plenty of times.
No, she has. But in that situation, she was trying to help me, and I thought she was being an asshole about it, and she really wasn't. She was actually just like trying to help me, like trying to understand my point of view.
Exactly.
And, exactly.
But I feel like hitting my head on the table because people. And I don't know if Patricia's still on here, but it's funny because when you ask people questions, right? I tell people, like, I'm not asking you because I care. Like, you got to understand, I don't care. Like, I care. I mean, I care, but I don't care what you choose for your life. It's your life. These questions are just so that you can get clarity for yourself. I have my clarity. I know where I'm going. I'm very clear. I get coaching myself. I'm clear. Okay, I'm clear. I'm trying to support people to get clear. And then when I do, they don't like it. But that's part of the programming, and that's the programming and the reprogramming, right? It's understanding that sometimes we So I don't know if you're still on here, Patricia, we talked about it earlier about when you said how much time do you need? I love that question because it's perfect. How much time do you need to be in your shit? Go ahead. Yeah, take all the time you need. Just don't take years, okay?
Please don't.
We don't have time for that. No,
no, we don't.
So understanding that we're not, and I've said I'm an asshole before because why? Personal responsibility, big, huge one. I love that. I love that practice of personal responsibility. It sucks, but it also helps us create. It allows us. And then get off it. Yeah. Yeah. But it helps us create once we're past that point of understanding. It helps us to create something new, right? And that's what I call our divine birthright, our co-creation with God, or whatever you want to call it, with the universe or whatever. And all these ideas start to flood in and we're able to get past our bullshit or whatever it is. And it's just a pebble. It's a tiny little rock that's in our way. It's so small, but we make it so big.
We think it's a boulder when it's a pebble.
Yeah. It's like, this isn't you can move. That's how you move mountains, okay? Recognize that the mountain's a pebble. Take that shit, put it out, throw it to the side, and then clear the pathway.
It's not simple. It's not simple.
But it's like not simple. Simple, not simple. There's the paradox for you. It's simple, but not simple. That's a paradox.
It is, but it is that simple. Like, I didn't realize like being neutral serves me.
Yeah.
People are like, Destiny, why are you so calm? I'm just like, because I try and understand every situation and every outcome that could possibly happen. Because I'm not going to sit here and end up throwing a fit for no reason because it's your BS. No, not going to do it.
Yep, it's yours.
It's
That's
yours.
like
Yeah.
like I've been looking at boundaries and really being cognizant of like what am I absorbing as mine and some. I'm really in the practice of that.
Yeah, and I'm trying, and that's
like
yeah.
Hold on, I'm
Yeah.
taking on this anxiety, and I'm like,
Exactly.
why am I experiencing all this anxiety? And I look at everyone around me, and I'm like, oh my god, I
it's-
totally absorbed all their anxiety. That ain't my stuff. Go figure it out, or I'm leaving. I'm gonna go.
I'm being an empath.
Yeah.
No, but it, and that's one of the things I'm trying to do too is distinguish what's my BS and what's other people else's. Because I tend to absorb as well other people's BS.
Yeah. And it's very hard and complex. And I'm so glad that you're on here, Patricia. I hope everything's good. Congratulations on your beautiful wedding.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Is that Patricia?
Yeah. What was the Patricia you think it was?
I don't know. You have a ton of friends.
Oh, yeah. That's Patricia.
Patricia coached me too for a while.
I am constantly learning how to be a screen. Yeah. And not a sponge.
And not a, yeah.
It's still hard. I mean, even after the practice of so many years of life, just being in it and going through it and creating, and like honestly, and even Patricia just, telling you like there were so many challenges. The only one and only that we, right now working on the family dynamics of. A lot of them didn't go through training and stuff, but they see through the practices and my commitment to the work, which has always been my commitment. And then the platform that was given to me through trainings was just a golden opportunity. And what that did was allowed me to live into it was a theoretical model, but it was conceptual, and then it was in practice. So we got to practice the theories. And so because of that, I said, okay, this is it. I've always been committed to God's work, but in action, what does it look like? And they gave me the experiential part of what needed to happen. In that, I said, I'm going to apply these principles and practices. And what happened with that? I created exactly what I said I was going to create. I understood, right, that here's a framework, practice it, but it took commitment. You can't do it without being committed to it. Like every single day. Oh, every day.
Commitment is part of it. Commitment is part of the work.
Yep.
Surrendering and committing that that you can create and that you can manifest. But it's also not talking. It's doing and putting the work in to create what you want in your life.
Exactly. But as you get through mastery, as you become a master, the more that you are clear, the faster the result. It's crazy. Like I get results like super quick now, right? But I've practiced it so much over and over and over and over. Like I'm a bull, so I just gotta practice it until I get it just, and then we fall and we break things down. But now you get to a point where you can tear down everything and recreate again. And it's okay. You're not afraid because you know how to do it. You know the process.
Exactly.
Which is awesome.
And tearing down and recreating, sometimes it needs to happen. Even if you've unlearned everything and relearned it all, sometimes we need to tear that down to create something that, something bigger or something more that we want to create.
It's like call to the higher game, higher game. There's always a bigger game you could play. And even with Spirit and Coffee, like me, and I don't know if you know this, Patricia, but I'm starting my master's program in consciousness and transformative studies. Yay! And then I'll create. Does it still surprise and amaze you how you manifest and create?
Oh, every day. That's what I was talking about my auntie. I think I even said it yesterday. the miracles and magic that I see every day. Like, and it's because of the work that I've done. I create and manifest. The life I've created, I manifested since I was a kid, but I didn't practice it until I was 16 years old. But from 16 to 23, the things that I've experienced within that time frame is absolutely amazing. I mean, I don't regret one bit of it. I mean, even all the temper tantrums. No, I think even Patricia, I mean, like I said, she was one of my coaches for one of the trainings, or she was my partner for one of my trainings. Yay. And she knows. I mean, it's part of the work, though. You need to get through that, to get, to be able to create and be able to manifest.
Aww.
Yeah.
Look at Destiny.
Aww.
She's a sweetie. She teaches me, Patricia, how to be gentle and kind. Everybody's all that, Natalie. How about kindness, Natalie? What does that mean?
Gentle.
Oh, that was feedback. My sacred sister and Grace.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, she was. Yeah.
That's right. That's what it was. Grace. Yes. Grace. Yeah. It's Destiny has taught me. I learned through that. Was because I was very transactional. I think, and very do a very left brain, and I could just cut it out and not have a care. But the emotional piece was something that I was looking at and trying to understand, and I know that was feedback. You're not very kind. I think it was kind or something. And I was like, oh, how do I do that? Teach me, humans, how to be kind. But I've learned to practice shut the up, which is a big one. So like in effective communication, and Patricia, I'm creating courses and stuff like that in the transformative studies. I'm going to be creating my own curriculum, which I have over time and stuff in the practice of it. The softer side of Natalie Pena. Yeah, I know.
Who knew?
I know. Seriously, god dang, it's like crazy. But the effective communication, and one thing that I learned that I'm going to put in there is, practicing shut the up, like just zip it.
Silence.
I've learned to just listen, which is an effective tool, like as a coach, right? Because I have a couple of coaching clients, and in the coaching, it's the active, the generous listening, right? And understanding that people will figure it out for themselves. That's it. So a little side note is funny, because when Brandon was coaching me, he's like, oh, I loved coaching Natalie because all she did was talk the whole time and figure it out for herself. And I'm like, I talk a lot. I don't run out of words, but eventually when somebody understands who they are, they coach themselves, and you just sit there and listen, and you just go.
Like, we talk to ourselves all day long, and we're like, constantly, I'm like, yeah, I'm acting like an asshole.
I told people, you know what? I'm the asshole.
I'm the asshole. You're not.
I'm sorry. I'm the asshole. I get what I did. Now I see it. Boom. It just makes sense to me now. Just zip it, listen to what people tell me. Feedback. Oof. Feedback. That's a hard one. Mm-hmm. But I'm getting better at it, and listening and understanding the projectiles. So there you have it. So, and Patricia, of course, you're always welcome to be part of any of it. The curriculum that I am putting together, whatever. The Spirit and Coffee is for everyone, right? What you're up to. Yeah. Thank you. And Destiny, she's a part, and she's going to be doing stuff. She's done amazing. And, I know that you were a big part of her journey. So namaste to you.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you.
Y'all should connect again.
I think about you all the time. You definitely,
yay. She's creating training too.
I love that.
But we could do a partnership. You create your curriculum, I'll create my curriculum, and then we'll have like a big retreat, and we'll make everybody go crazy.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. I love being in distress, you know?
We'll drive everybody mad, and then we'll be at the tea. We're like the Mad Hatters.
Yes.
Yes, I'm in. Okay, cool. That's so awesome.
I love you too. I appreciate you. I like seriously. I don't think I give people credit where it's due sometimes, and you're definitely one of those people that guided me to like work through my emotions. You were one of those that like broke that down for me of like emotion is just your story, and like like you said, go ahead and deal with it as long as you need, but get over it.
That's a Patricia. I love her. So get over it already. How long do you need, girlfriend?
Are you done? No. But seriously,
that's amazing. Yes, and Destiny too is starting to be. So she's part of Spirit and Coffee. She's going to be working in the support of that, and it looks like it's time for a whole new recreation of the work in this new paradigm mind shift and everything that's happening, the new consciousness that's arising and all that in the world. And I feel like us powerful women have this opportunity to give back to the world in this way, which is so awesome. So once the curriculum is up, once your curriculum is up, we can, I can support you in your trainings if you want me to. Whatever that means, you can support me. Destiny's available as well. And let's just co-create. I mean, I think it took us a lot of time to maybe finally figure out what is that one thing we want to do. Anything that I can do, Patricia, while I'm in my master's program, I'll have access to tons of articles and worldviews and different individuals and professors and all that stuff. If you need anything from me, like articles that I might be able to get that you might not be able to, let me know and I can help you with that as well. But I'm just here to support. Like that's it, right? That's what we're here to do. I'm here to serve and support to get this work going into the next phase. And I'm up to other things too. So if you're ever interested in knowing what that is, like creating whole new societies, getting a land or co-creating a piece of land with a retreat center on it and actually owning the land and the retreat center for people to come to, something that, so you're always welcome.
You're amazing too.
You're always welcome. We're always be sacred sisters no matter what, right? Even in our discomforts.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Great live video. So glad, Patricia. Actually, I think if you want to be a guest on Spirit and Coffee, I would be open to having you come on as well.
Look, she just said let's go.
I love you. We great minds think alike. But you are more than welcome to come on Spirit and Coffee. I can do I have a YouTube, whatever, Sacred Assholes. Here's the shadow side of the work. And we can do a whole shadow side.
That's great.
Draw your asshole and see what it looks like. I'm just kidding. That's actually kind of funny. Not the whole ass. Let's the whole.
Not a half.
Oh, how I miss my transformational people. So yes. So let's do a Zoom call. We'll set it up after, and Dusty can be on the call too. And let's just create. I'm just excited about it. And you could get on and do live. We could do the whole Patricia thing.
Yeah.
Let me get my camera though. So then, and then you can get on and give your insights. I would love to have that. You could even just get on all the time on Spirit and Coffee Live if you want to. I don't even care. I trust you. Okay, so there you have it. It's Friday, so have a fantastic, fun, funky, phenomenal, freaky, fresh. Ooh, that's a new one. Fantastic Friday. And we will be seeing you guys on Monday. Bye. Oh, it just takes a while. Finish. And exit. Yeah. How funny that we talked about Patricia and she shows up.